Is your local housing market shifting? Do you have the numbers you need in order to make that decision? Well, we're going to share a very cool tool with you we've been using that will cover every local market in the United States. And stick around to the end because we have a little homework assignment for you. Hey there, Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates. We've been helping buyers and sellers make the best decisions in this crazy market, and we're here to talk about your local market. This cool tool is one that you need to use. We're going to give you free access to it so you can track your local city, and we're going to show you how to use it and tell you exactly what to watch for to see if there's a shift in your local housing market. So if you're ready to dive into your local real estate market data, hit that like button and let's get started. So let's dive into one of the best possible tools out there to track what is going on in the housing market and see if there is going to be a shift in your local area. These reports are from Altos Research, and we have a link below so you can sign up for these. And here's what's great. You see right now, I'm going to talk about Costa Mesa, California, and it really doesn't matter where I picked. I can pick any city in the United States, and you can too. You just enter it in. So I've already played around with it. Santa Claus, Indiana, we have accurate data for that. And I attempted to search for hump tulips in the lovely state of Washington, but unfortunately there just isn't enough data in hump tulips right now for us to track it. But you can see, you can literally search for anywhere in the United States and sign up for these reports to come to you. We have a link below so you can do that. Let's run through and show exactly what you're gonna need to look at to see if there's a shift in your marketplace. So we're gonna use Costa Mesa, California. It's right near us here in my local area where I practice real estate. And the very first thing you'll notice is the Market Action Index. And that's a quick overview to let you know where the market's headed. And it's either a buyer's market or seller's market. Remember, you can't have both. You can be in the middle, but you can't have both. And you can see here it tracks today versus last month, and it is actually down. It is a little bit less of a seller's market in Costa Mesa than it was last month. And don't forget that the reports here will track houses and condos. The data is separated. It makes it easier to see if there's a trend in one or the other. And if you want to sign up for it, you're just going to click on this link. You're going to enter your information, and that would sign you up for the houses report. You could do that alternatively for condos. Let's look at the real-time data. What do they mean by real-time data? Once a week, you're getting brand new numbers straight from all the housing data across the nation. You're not waiting 2 months for the Case-Shiller Index, which is amazing, but it's 2 months old. This is super hot, super new data, and this is mostly about active listings. So this is giving us an idea. It's the absolute leading edge of the market when we look at active listings. We can see the median list price, pretty obvious. That is the median list price of all the homes that are currently listed. So whether they're brand new to the market or they've been on the market for a while, the median list price is there. The median price of new listings is what's coming to the market. And what's interesting, we see the median list price is lower than the median price of new listings. So that could mean that potentially that we're going to see some price drops because the new listings are coming on higher, but we're going to know, we're going to keep tracking it. You look at this data, you'll get these weekly when you sign up. Then we got price per square foot. Helpful, obviously, to look at average days on market. So that takes all the listings that are on market and averages it out, and then median days on market. So the median tends to be a little more accurate, drops off the outliers on either end. So you can see that it's a low level of number of days on market in this particular city we're looking at. Price decreased. So 33% of properties have decreased their price in Costa Mesa. Now, we need to look at this and put it into context because that sounds like a lot. 1/3 of properties dropping their price is a big number. And then underneath it, price increased. We don't see anybody increasing their price. So we're going to put that into context when we look at the charts below to see maybe that's not atypical this time of year. That's what's important to remember. Just because a number seems high or it's reported in the news, this big increase, it seasonally could be what it's supposed to be. So that's what we're going to look at in a second. We have relisted. So these are properties that were either relisted, they expired and came back. or they were under contract and came back. Then inventory is the total number that are for sale. So there are 36 homes for sale in this city at this point in time. Again, we need context to know what that even means. Is 36 a lot? Well, we're going to look at it and see. Median rent, that's a quick handy tool. So that's the median rent for a house in Costa Mesa. And then the market in action is reflected over here. So now we're going to go down here and you can look at the data a little closer. We get a 7-day average and a 90-day average. And this is 3 years of data. We've seen that go up. But here's what I want to look at. The things that are important to me to see where a market is headed. And you can look at both 90 and 7-day. I'm going to look at 7-day. It's very choppy, but it looks like the median days on market has gone up a tiny bit, but is still very low when we look historically. So this dot here is 1 year ago, and this is 2 years ago. Now, 2 years ago, we were in COVID, so it's not a great data point, but 3 years ago, we can see it was here. Switching to the 90-day average, it takes out some of the choppiness of it and makes it easier to see a trend. But what's going to happen with the 90 days, we're not going to see the increases as quickly. So we want to be carefully watching increases. So median days on market. So if the market is turning in your area, you are going to see an increase in the median days on market. Properties are going to sit longer. And then if they sit longer, basically that means they're going to need a price reduction to sell. Now, what's important to see is you see this graph goes up and down over time. Median days on market is a seasonal thing as well. And it's kind of been erased here when we get into May 2021 through May of 2022. You don't see it as seasonal. You don't see it as going up and down. And that's just because the market has been so tight and inventory has been so tight. So as of right now, looking at this, it doesn't look like in Costa Mesa that we're seeing an increase in the median days on market, but that would be a leading indicator for a market shifting when the median days on market goes up. So make sure you keep your eye on that. The next important statistic that you need to keep an eye on for a shifting market would be properties with a price decrease. So here we go. We have that data, and it, again, is a seasonal thing. So we saw that 33% number, and wow, did that seem ridiculously high? That's the 7-day average number. And look, again, let's get the 90-day out of here. This is a volatile thing. But going back a year, we see that the price drops actually last year, 35.7. So it was actually higher a year ago. So while 33 seemed like this huge, scary number, like what are we going to do? Well, compared to last year, that's the same. And it's been higher. You can see that in January 2021, 63% of properties. So it flipped. It's basically it went from 1/3 decreasing price to 2/3. That shows you that 33% seems to be high, and it definitely is lower at certain points, but this isn't the absolute highest. And we go to our dots here. So in COVID, it was 38.89, and it was 40 3 years ago. So the 33, which seemed big, and I was like, I was wondering, wait a minute, what's going on in Costa Mesa? You have to put it into perspective, get our 90-day average back, and you can see that it's not all that high. You need to watch in your local market for properties with price decreases, because price decreases means that maybe there's a drop in demand and or that there's more inventory out there. So that's definitely a metric for a market shift to track. And then the other thing to watch is inventory. So obviously if inventory increases and buyers have more choices, we could see where prices start to reduce. Now that has been the biggest challenge in the market, and you can see it in this graph as well. Whether you're looking at the 7-day or the 90-day, there's not much inventory. And you can see here that year over year, the inventory didn't get any better. And going back to 2020 and back to 2019, there was more inventory. This has been one of the things that's buoyed the market. And I've talked about in other videos that in markets where inventory stays constrained, and one reason, for example, would be builders can't build new homes because there isn't available land for them to build on. That's an example where you can't get overbuilding, and that market will stay constrained with inventory unless there's some reason that everybody decides to sell. So that's what we're seeing here in this market that we're tracking. We're not seeing a big increase in the amount of inventory. So that would be one other very important metric to track to see if there's a shift in the market and it's going to lead to price reductions. We'd need an increase in inventory for that to happen. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I actually have 2 pieces of homework for you. Sorry to double up on you. Number 1 is make sure you sign up for Alto's reports. We have a link below so you can do that. You'll also be signed up for our free weekly email newsletter. And number 2 is I want to know in the comments below how your local market is doing. Do you see a hint of a shift, or are things moving along strong? Put that comment down below. And for you overachievers, for extra credit, share this video with someone who you think needs to know what's going on with the housing market. And we don't want you to leave empty-handed, so check out this playlist where you'll have more information on the housing market. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates, and we want to hear from you.